Hi, this is Chuck Martin, AI Business TV in New York City. With me today, I'm happy to say I've got Amit Arora, Professor AI and Applied Risk Analysis at Columbia. Welcome.
Thank you, Chuck.
So you just got off the keynote stage. Tell me what that was about.
Yeah, it was a fun topic, very relevant as well in today's world. And I was talking about cyber insurability in the insurance world. It's a topic that is at the intersection of AI, cybersecurity, and insurance, right? So, when you put these three things together, what you get is a method to do cyber risk quantification for any company, and the cyber risk quantification can then be used to determine insurability for that company for purposes of cyber insurance, right?
So how good is the state of the art on that now?
Well, I think it's not a question of technology in this space. It's a question of how do you use an ensemble of existing techniques, statistical models, machine learning, known techniques, known frameworks, put them together in such a way that the output is relevant, makes sense, and is reliable.
So you're now teaching. What are students, what are they looking to learn about this now?
Well, I teach AI and applied risk analytics with the focus on risk mitigation at the university. And we cover a whole gamut of risk scenarios ranging from supply chain risk to retail risk to anti-money laundering risk to you name it, credit market risk to other kind of risks. So we have case studies, use cases that focus on determining risk in any situation, any industry that you might be, by using predictive analytics and AI techniques.
And what's the state of students, their interest in this these days? Are you sold out all the time for your classes?
They're pretty much full all the time, so that's a good thing. And I think there's a lot of focus on risk awareness, risk containment. Whether you're an engineering student or a healthcare student or an MBA student, right? Of course, what you really want to do when you start working for a company, when you graduate, is to help them improve their bottom line and top line, right? That's the end goal for any company or for any employee to contribute to. But then a lot of things that we've seen in the last few years, from the Russia-Ukraine conflict to now the Israel-Palestine issue, and then COVID in between, right? Companies really want to understand the quantum of risk that they're exposed to and they're sitting on, right? And without quantifying the risk of the kind of business that they run and the macroeconomic environments that are emerging and how do they impact their businesses, it's very difficult for them to kind of figure out how much capital reserves do they want to keep, right? What kind of insurance policies do they want to buy? What kind of underwriting do they need to have in their favor? So a lot of board members and the CEOs are kind of thinking about it as one of the top 3 priorities for them. How do you contain risk for the enterprises that you're running? And I think when the students get exposed to those techniques that help companies do risk mitigation, calculation, and then management overall, I think it's a great value for these students to go and work for any companies in both ways.
So you've been in insurance for a long time. You're obviously an authority in insurance. How have you seen it change in terms of AI coming into that space and developing it over the years?
Yeah, I mean, look, different insurance companies have a different appetite level for AI incorporation, and insurance is a very, very conservative industry, right, by nature. Insurance is all about risk management. So insurance companies have developed that DNA that they're also very, very risk averse, by psychologically speaking, the top leadership, and when you start to talk about innovations within an insurance company, it really needs to start from the top leadership and percolate downwards, because if you start doing something, at a middle level, but then it does not resonate with the top leadership in terms of the speed that you want to move, or the kind of innovations or the disruptive innovations that you want to bring into your company or into your sector, that can fall flat on its face. So really you need to have the right leadership and the top leadership aligned towards adoption of AI, you know, relevantly speaking in this world. And again, similar to healthcare, insurance is also regulated with a lot of policies, regulations across the world, and auditability and bias are two big things in this industry. And I think that's one of the reasons why the speed of innovation is relatively lesser in insurance as compared to other industries, because those are the things that people start to think about before they even say, yes, let's get Gen AI into all the products and services that we are launching. But then the legal and the compliance teams are going to shut you off the moment you utter those words, because they are thinking of how would it impact our customers, before we even go that far into incorporation.
So what do you see over the next year, at the beginning of 2024? What is this, a slow evolution, big dramatic change, more of the same? What do you see for AI?
Yeah, I think it's the last year when we spoke, you asked me the same question, and I gave you two answers to that. One was, we'll see cyber risk quantification explode and become really relevant. It is becoming now.
Yep, very good.
The second thing that I said was, there's going to be a lot of emphasis on AI audits, right? We're not going to be talking any less about Gen AI, true, but we'll continue to talk more about how do we conduct AI audits, meaning audits of companies who use AI systems to make sure that they remain in their guardrails and they're not doing anything that is non-compliant and against the regulation, and not creating any algorithmic discrimination against the customers that they serve. So I see a lot of companies now focused on developing frameworks around algorithmic risk management and assessment, and a lot of big companies now being geared up to kind of produce those kind of products to serve these markets.
Well, I look forward to that year. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
So here we are at AI Business Summit.